one of the team can drop in the chat. And, we're just going to take a deep dive, a little bit of content, but then a deep dive into the life script. And I would love to see some people from the Elite 100 there. We're going to have people from all over the Matrix community. We're going to have new people too, but it'd be good to get some veterans, some seasoned pros in there. Very interactive. It's going to be a really good workshop. So I know that is, I think, let's see, it's this Thursday. And there we go, 6 to 8 p.m. So it's a 2-hour workshop. We're going to be getting our hands dirty, going through each of the different parts of the Wheel of Life, and just taking a deep dive into at least my point of view on what this tool, this scripting of your life, like it's like bringing the future into reality, what this should look like. And if you don't have a really good life script, if it's not recorded, I'd absolutely show up for this. And even if you do, you might get some ideas, you might hear some things. I think it's going to be really, really beneficial. And I'd just love to have some energy from you guys. And again, it's a free event. Everything we do for you guys is included in your membership. So
Brian, when is that again?
That is this Thursday from 6 to 8.
Eastern, 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yep. And you can see the registrations in the chat, and there's a free code, Matrix VIPs, all caps, VIPS. So, and then Maddie or Angie or somebody, if you have a link, if you guys want to share this outside with your family members, things like that, it's a small paid event. Even if somebody is not in content at all, this is going to be a standalone thing, because I'm going to go through a little bit of content, a little bit of mindset, the mind map. So even if somebody's never been exposed to anything, there's going to be a standalone workshop I guess a workshop's a good term for it. That will help your family members out, family, friends, things of that nature. So they don't have to be elite level or anything like that. They don't have to have gone through TIR, anything like that. This is going to be a standalone thing. So, and there's a link in the chat for that. So, Dave, what's up, bud? Questions?
Yes. So I made a video this morning for the cold plunge.
Oh, sweet.
My girl's editing it all up. So step by step of what to do, how to do it, how the benefits of it. So she's probably gonna make like she'll probably edit down to 5 minutes or whatever. So we all have that.
Much appreciated, bud. I love that. That was something I personally requested, so I appreciate that.
So I did that. And then also, if anybody wants, not this weekend, but next weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Oh, that's the time of your events going on. I'm doing an astral traveling spiritual energy workshop. If anybody would like to attend, they can come as a free guest as part of the Matrix. You can come to that if you want. So if anybody wants to know more about that.
What I would say to you there is we're having an inner circle event next week, but Elite 100 members could absolutely go to that if they want. Obviously, me and our team, we're going to be at our event, and Laura's just pounding me. He's like, I want to go to that thing. So I don't know if there's going to be recording at all for those of us who can't attend, but I would say anybody here that wants to, because what we're doing is an inner circle event, not an Elite 100 event.
Well, let me kind of explain. So these events are not information, they're experiential. So you're not going to learn about astral traveling, you will astral travel. You're not going to go back to past lives. So I think a couple of the cool things that would be why I would want you to go. Number one, if you learn about David Hawkins' conscious scale from 0 to 1,000, that way you'll know where you're at on the awareness scale, which is very important. And raising your vibrational frequency for that. And then obviously it's all exercises and it's going to be freaking awesome. Matt and Yoon will be there. I'm trying to think who else of you guys will be there. It'll be a small little workshop for spiritual people. Yes, Greg.
Yeah, well, I'm sure that you run that a couple times a year.
We do one every month, but they're different. Each one's different. So.
Yeah. Well, what I would say next time is maybe give us a little more runway, a little more notice. We can, if those who want to, because that's something I personally would like to do, and I know Laura wants to. And it's kind of, I haven't spent a lot of time in that arena, and probably most of the people here haven't. So I think that'd be cool.
It's good for you to discover for yourself.
Of course, yeah. No, sounds good.
Awesome.
Appreciate that. Well, guys, we're going to do a little bit of an introduction to something that's coming Thursday, and I want to let Mr. Ivan Ann speak for a second here. You with us, Ivan?
Hello, amigos.
Why don't you let us know what the big surprise is?
Exactly, amigo. So, did you let in my
Yep.
CEO? City? I see Sky here. Okay, great. So, we've been working in the last year or so to expand philanthropy investors into solving one of the issues in the planet, which are part of the life essentials. You know that I am all about correcting the life essentials to create little by little, one company at a time, one investor at a time, a better world for all. So the next life essential that we are going to be presenting is basically having a world where it's a disease-free world. And I was for years and years dreaming about it, and I was not considering a life essential to be a possibility because I thought, who will be able to have a technology that can create a disease-free world? Well, after manifesting it, I come across a friend in Puerto Rico that introduced me to another owner of a family office. Introduced me to Mr. David Queenie, and so we partnered with him to help him expand and so on. So Sky is our CEO for Philanthropy Investors. He's here with us, but he brought us the CEO for FIOS, which is our health philanthropy investing company. You will not only be blown away by this model, but you will like to learn how you can be part of these humans that can create the potential of future disease-free life for them by something he will explain. So welcome, Sky and David.
Yes, thank you very much,
Pleasure to be
Ivan.
with you all.
Very
Thank you,
much.
Ivan.
I'm gonna let David speak most of the time here, but thank you.
Would you like me to give a brief summary?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
what we're gonna do here, guys, we're gonna have a full-blown presentation this Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern. But I wanted these guys to come on and just give you a quick, 5-minute or less, kind of a summary of what this is all about. So if you guys are interested, you can come to the Thursday satellite. And of course, we'll record this as always.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Delightful to be with you all. Hope you're having a beautiful day. I will be very brief, as I know we're going to be likely speaking, I think, on Thursday. I'm one of the co-founders of FIOS Health Technology. There's 4 primary co-founders and now a team of 9. And it's our mission to reimagine healthcare for the 21st century, or call it Health 3.0. So what that really means is, rather than just treating disease once you become ill, we want to be able to cost effectively prevent it, excuse me. So we believe, and we've designed a system that the doctor's office and the hospital of the future is actually delivered in your home or office in 15 minutes. And it's a combination of proprietary genomic screening, blood panel analysis, urinalysis, family health history, molecular microbiomics that we've created to look at tens of millions of data variations as they apply to current and future illness for each individual. So we understood that we needed to be able to deliver that conveniently and cost effectively to each and every individual in order to augment disease risk for what we focused on was just over 84% of chronic illness and eventually death. So heart disease, cancer, stroke, Alzheimer's, diabetes, kidney, liver, so on and so forth. So we've designed a proprietary screening protocol as well as a dual artificial intelligence system that's capable of doing the analysis that no human clinical team could do. And then we have taken the steps to interface that with a clinical and physician team once that analysis is done, in order to look at where our patients, we call them members, where you are today in terms of your disease risk, as well as general health, as well as where you will likely be moving into the future. And then we've built an entire technology platform that will then, that entire process takes 5 days. And then we've built an entire process whereby the remaining 360 days of the year, We create excellent health recommendations for you, whether it's diet, sleep, nutrition, exercise. And then we offer that to our community education. We offer that to our community at a significantly discounted basis in order to create an entire health system more or less in your pocket.
Awesome. That's you hear a lot, or not hear a lot, but with the mass expansion of AI, it's like you wonder where this is all going, and it sounds like you guys have really come up with a way to use that plus existing technology to, it sounds like it's preventative, like analyzing somebody and really stepping in a big way. And everything you guys do is global. So what you guys will be presenting on Thursday is a chance to learn more about this, but also a chance to invest in the technology or the company. Is that correct?
So yes, that's all correct. To invest in the company, which is actually multiple technologies, we've created 2 different artificial intelligence engines. One is an unstructured data platform that can look at everything from genomics to imaging, very similar to some of the things that OpenAI is doing. And then we've created an algorithmic Bayesian decision tree that does the brute force analysis of huge swaths of data. So, you know, just for genes alone, we look at 1,000 genes that are unique to the diseases we want to look at. To give you a comparative idea, 23andMe is about 97 variants, Color Genomics and Microsoft are at about 200. So we're significantly more, and then matching that with your blood panel variables, your behavioral. Do you run? Do you smoke? What do you eat? You know, what's your ethnic background? And so the big challenge with the technology was to say, okay, we could have the best clinical and research team do an individual analysis in the world, but it would take them, our entire team, which is pretty extensive, it would take them 8 weeks working around the clock to do the analysis for a single patient, whereas our system will do it in under a second.
Gotcha. Yeah. No, it's one of the, I guess one of the big benefits of where technology is going is stuff like this. So some things that I was talking to Maddie about this morning are just absolutely scary, but then there's other things that are, you know, absolutely life-changing. So awesome. I look forward to that. We'll get the information out to the team here, to the group. And for those of you that are interested, it'll be this Thursday at 5 p.m. They'll take a deep dive into what this is, what the opportunities are, how we can help. So I appreciate you guys coming on.
Absolutely fine. Thank you.
Thank you for having us. It's been very nice to meet you all. Have a beautiful day.
Excellent. Awesome. So again, guys, from time to time, we have different investments, different opportunities, different ways to enhance your wealth. And whenever we have those, we'll do those on a Thursday or something. Usually on Thursdays at 5 p.m. That's usually the slot. And we will record that too if somebody can't make it. And Ara, I think you had your hand up, although I lost where you are. Did you have a question?
I did. I was trying to see if there's also, if they're working on curing, or is it just preventative or diagnosis?
Okay, yeah, we'll do that, because what can happen is, like, I didn't want to pull away from the whole meeting today. It's just more about letting you guys know. So any questions, come to Thursday's meeting, or if you can't make it, Ara, if you have questions, just email them to me or email them to the team and we'll get those answered. We'll record that too. Awesome. Well, if you guys can, if you're able to turn your cameras on, because I want to get into a little bit of accountability. And, you know, this is the part where we just kind of quickly laser coach each other. We kind of go around the room, work with people and find out where you're at, what your goals are and how we can help. So I wanted to start with Mr. Markarian. I see you over there in the corner. What is your current seat type goal? What are some things that you're working on? And what, if anything, can we do to help?
Okay. My current C-type goal is expanding the Markarian Electric electrical service business across 50 sites. So we opened up in Florida. The week that we were together in Miami, and we've already done a few $100,000 in business, and we just got awarded a $140,000 contract 2 days ago. That's in East Coast Florida. I would like to be
Oh, you're breaking up, bud.
Oh, sorry. How about now?
I think we got you now.
Okay. I'm a big procedural person, and I'm trying to my very best to create and adopt these processes so that I can streamline it. It's like you know, rinse and repeat. You know, and I didn't go to school for this, so I'm struggling with executing these processes to my team and duplicating this. So we've done it in Florida, but it's still small.
Okay. One thing that comes to mind of somebody that's helped us out immensely is Mr. Ivan Ans. He's literally helping us in the matrix daily move to a global, like, #1 lifestyle enhancement company in the world, like Inc. 500 status, passing $30 million in revenue a year. So maybe I'm sure Ivan could pretty quickly take a look at some of the things you're doing and just half a dozen ideas, because he's literally an expert in doing what you're talking, like systemizing, building, very, very simple thinking, easy to implement types of things, but you're looking to duplicate and scale. And the other thing I would say to you is there's quite a few of us now that are down here in Florida. So, you know, whatever you have for promotional materials, marketing materials, there's a few of us that are down here that can just help generate business. I would think if we have something to share on our social media or, hey, you know, just anything like that. So I know there's quite a few of us.
That's great. That's a great point.
Chris, you have some advice, bud?
Yeah, we've done the traction implementation over the last 6 months, which is the EOS framework.
Okay.
Everything is in process now, and not only, and it's not just like sitting in a SharePoint somewhere. We, through EOS, they have something called a 90 app. So there's a page with every single thing that makes up what our company is, our go-to-market, all that, our goals. It's all there in one place. So everybody's talking about it, looking at it. We meet about it weekly. The weekly meeting cadence is on the company as opposed to in the company. So we're resolving issues on it. But most importantly, I didn't do this. I found a traction coach. There's companies that, and you may be big enough where they do quarterly, there are traction consultants certified EOS implementers. I have a part-time integrator who actually works for us. So he's my COO, my CFO, and he's who I run everything by. So I just, I did a purchase today that I had to run through him. So I wasn't buying stuff we don't need, you know, so all that stuff based on what you're doing is handled inside of EOS. I really recommend going through the traction book, but most importantly, if you can get a consultant to walk you through, hey, here's what it could be. He sets up all the processes. All of our processes live in that 90 app so we can refer to it. Everything is just really well documented. It makes it super simple, but it's also when there's a breakdown, you can go to the document and see, okay, what didn't get done.
Very cool. Great advice. Eric, also connect with me offline about this. I have something else I can share with you. It's a partnership that we're working on that's not fully developed yet. And Antonio, you know what I'm talking about. So we have something in the background that we're working on. We're just trying to smooth it out. And if it looks good, we're going to be introducing it into the matrix. It's more of business scaling, business structure. It's like an ecosystem. So we can chat offline about that as well.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Cool. Is there a monetary goal that you want to share? Just so we all know.
My B-type goal is to generate 500,000 a month by the end of this year in passive recurring revenue, and my C-type goal is 3 million a month by June 14th of 2026. I'm sorry, 2026.
Very cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
We'll all put energy towards that too. So very good. Very good. Actually, Chris, Mr.
Eric,
Pepin.
I'm sorry, Brian. Eric forgot one more thing.
Yep.
Bean Capital.
What's that?
Yeah, so mine and Otto's win for the week is we met with our attorney, and we have the name of our private lending company. It's called Beam Capital, BEAM, and that's mine and Otto's last names mixed together. Yeah, we're very excited. We had a great meeting this morning.
Very cool.
So
So
I'm going to make 3 million a month 2 years from now.
this is coming off of the private lending workshop? Yeah. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Congrats, fellas. That is awesome. You're making that kind of progress this
Thank
quickly.
you.
That is so cool.
Thank you.
I love
Thanks.
it.
We're already incorporated.
Thanks,
and
Blake.
We're going full blast with it. Appreciate your help.
Hey, it was
Yeah,
my pleasure.
Is that just real estate lending, or are you guys doing other types of lending?
Just real estate.
Just real, okay.
Start with real
Thank you
estate.
to the STEC. Thank you to the STEC family, because that was an amazing training.
Dig it.
It was our pleasure, guys. Really enjoyed having you.
It's awesome.
Awesome. Mr.
Brian,
Pepper,
real quick on that note too, Brian, real quick on that, just on the private lending side, we do that as well. So to what David was saying, it is definitely, and I didn't see the presentation, but it's probably my highest return for least amount of work and best passive income source that I have. And we're working right now to get a line or a warehouse line up to 150 million to really blow it up. So I can definitely relate. And if you guys have any questions on it as well, not to just keep bothering David and his family, you guys can always reach out to me. We do this stuff every day and underwrite in-house and have a lot of the stuff that we've kind of started from scratch.
Great to know. Thank you, Kyle.
you guys are in the same neck of the woods too. The three of you guys should grab lunch.
Definitely.
Yeah, you guys
Sure.
are short drive away from each other. A lot of similar things you guys are doing. So cool. Good deal. Good update. I love it.
Yeah, very
Mr. Pepin, what about you, brother? What's your current goal, and what, if anything, can we do to help?
Well, so I actually, I started working with Yoon right after the retreat in January, and that's gone phenomenally. So if any of you guys have ever considered, I highly recommend working with her. I've gotten my mindset really well leveled out, just super calmed down. And one of the things we talked about was slowing down to speed up. So admittedly, I've always been chasing and building and ahead. And so I've pulled back to go after profitability, which we haven't had in 7 years, neither here nor there. We've built a lot, we've grown a lot, but I was able to look at my numbers actually 2 weeks ago, and I'm about 4 hires away from break even, and we're going to rocket right past that. Not worried about it, but ultimately what I'm doing with my team, I just announced to my 3 key people that when we reach a certain goal, they're each getting profit share in the company. So I rolled that out, which is great because they're solid and I really respect, I like them. And that's turned around. So we're getting more hires, we're getting more going on. I'm finding more and more automations to pull in what we do, which is the recruiting side of things. So that's all going well. So back to the goal. I stripped it out. I mean, my C-type goal, truthfully, is roughly in the neighborhood of $28-30 million a year in net profit to me, but that'll take until 2029, the end of 29. So that was something I saw, 700 contractors. Like I figured that out at the end of last year. What I'm paying myself basically is that. And that's really for us to establish the utility that we can do that and be virtually unknown. That's the crazy thing. I mean, we can be anonymous to the rest of the world. And the anonymity is really important personally, because I like to do what I want and not have anybody know who I am. So that was really fun that we've got built out, but it starts with the first 25 contractors. So we're on a tear to do that within this year. I don't have a date on it. It's as soon as we can, reasonably, with the right kind of clients we want, the right mindset. So I hope that answers what you're looking for, because that's what we're on.
It's just a touch. This is just a quick touch point. So
yeah,
when you say I don't have a date on it, that's fine. But so it's a very left brain thing to put a date on something. The reason what I like to do it, it's purely just to measure, right? And if we're tapping into source, and we're meditating and connecting to source, we're spiritually connecting on a daily level, and then we're intellectually doing the things to connect, and then we're physically doing the things, getting those first 25 contracts, it sounds like it's a big deal. It's almost like
it is and it isn't. It's just a first step amongst. I've got like 25.
I don't mean a big deal in like a hard way or not achievable.
Right.
I just mean like once you pay, it's a nice milestone. Like things are moving, you're in the black. Like it's a, I always talk to people like getting to that first 100K a month liquid is better than getting to $1 million a month liquid. The feeling of freedom a human being gets at 100K a month, if they've never done it, it's different than like $1 million a month liquid. Like there's not, there's more things you can do, but so I think this is kind of like that, right? Getting past those 25.
It's comfortably 100K a month, shockingly. And the idea is how soon can we do it within this calendar year? So
I would set a goal instead of waiting to see what happens. As soon as it's comfortable, we can use spirit, intellect, and body and the power of the mastermind to say, like, by July. And you don't have to know how it's going to happen, right? Or just a date that's a date that you don't quite know how it's going to happen, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so it feels like backside of Q3 is really what it feels like. Just
Okay.
knowing the way things have gone. It's set in our budget for the year by the end of the year that we end the year
Okay.
on 25. So, I mean, it's set in the budget. It was already set in the plan last year. It's just now I actually have the feeling and I'm seeing the response. So at 10, at 10, we're break even. At 15. And then that 25, yeah, that's, it was funny. I mentioned that to my wife. I'm like, yeah, we'll be well within 100 a month, like net take home profit. She's like, you think you can do that 2 to 3 years? And I'm like, 2 quarters, is really.
Yeah. No, perfect. So this is, because I have 2 as well. I have my overarching C-type goal,
Right.
which is what you said, which is kind of, but then I have what's happening this year.
Right.
So I think if you, again, let's get back to basics, like 5th grade level, have a goal card. I'm so happy and grateful now that we've passed, 25
Got it.
contracts. And
Yeah, you can have me put that on my card. So that's on the goal card in my pocket to be clear with you on that. And then it's a matter of really what I've structured is doing that with my
Sarah.
Yeah, so I'm doing that with the 3
Okay.
people I have. I'm expanding overseas. I'm doing a lot of VAs and a lot of automations to get those 3 there. And with that, it's a matter of, okay, then we figure out how to get to 100.
Cool.
So yeah, it's definitely, it feels really, really great. And, I've pushed myself beyond limits and tripped over myself for years and years and years. And we're just not going to do that this year. Like, it's going to be really smooth, really cool. And we're just going to walk right through this.
Cool. Love it. Great check-in. Great check-in.
Thanks.
Mr. Weedo, what about you, bud? We haven't checked in with you in a while. What's your current C-type goal? What are some of the things you're doing and how can we help?
Man, I knew you were going to call me, Brian.
Did you?
So
Seriously?
I had this distinct feeling right then and there. C-type goal is 30 million a month with just flow and ease. What's evolving right now is that you've heard me talk about my 4% fund, things like that. That is rolling out here, guys, any day now. So that's evolved very quickly. So we're super stoked about that. And so, yeah, just bringing that knowledge and awareness to the table. I guess I'll probably need a hot seat here pretty quick. And just to kind of bring sort of my team on the call, if you will, to just bring that awareness to the table. So just very blessed and thankful. Obviously, Dave Van Hoos met one of kind of my partners at one of his event last month, and just things just steamrolled with just law of gestation, law of energy, just everything just sort of happened really fast. And so I'm just so happy and grateful for that. And of course, Angie, Ian, Dan Barnett, we're all there at the event. So, but I'm looking forward to the May 5th or 6th and 7th event as well. So that we're going to be at too. So, but yeah.
So it sounds like it's a rock. So the next thing we can help you with is when you get ready to present that, we'll probably what we'll do is, again, we'll do like a Thursday, because that's more of like an investor pitch.
Yep,
and
absolutely.
Dive. So let me know. And we can also do a hot seat if you need help developing something, right? But if you don't know what it is and you just want to present it, we'll do that on a Thursday. And same thing, whoever's interested. And I've been waiting for that myself. So highly
it's
you guys are doing.
definitely more suited for a Thursday call because all the kind of the infrastructure, et cetera, is built out. It's just a formality of just presenting it. So yeah, be grateful for that one in a couple weeks. So I'll let you know.
Very cool. Very cool. Love it. Mr. Crowstand, what about you, brother? What's your current, I know you and I worked a couple of weeks ago. We kind of evolved it into, instead of by age 40, I think we pulled it in, but what's your current C-type goal and some of the things that you guys are working on?
C-type goal would be to be worth north of 100 million by the time I'm 32, which is in 3 years, 29 now. And just, I mean, in terms of what I'm working on, I think a lot of people, I've talked to a lot of people, and obviously we had our hot seat not too long ago with the real estate fund that we're doing. So that's actually going really well. We have about 15 million raised on that front now out of the 50. And I'm going to start doing deals, putting deals under contract. And then obviously everything I'm doing on, the day-to-day and really, 95% of my time on a daily basis is the insurance risk management, side of things that we do at Hoteling Insurance Services. And then on top of that, it's just the investing side as well. So making all the money actively by, you know, doing the risk management and risk mitigation, and then ultimately creating those relationships, avenues in terms of like different asset classes, different investment opportunities, and learning, you know, along the way and meeting people and really just kind of, you know, figuring out where the money is going to grow, you know, at the most effective rate from the investing standpoint as well. So, you know, that's really.
Do me a favor, because you and I talked about a new vehicle that you guys have. Just a quick summary, because some of you might have, you know, cash sitting on the sidelines that you want to keep liquid. And Dalton and his mentor and their team came up with something that's very, very few people in the country are licensed to do. And it's really effective for people that want liquid cash. So if you could just kind of summarize what that is, I think that would, maybe some people here might be interested in that.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm sure most people on the call are familiar with whole life insurance. You know, if they don't have it, they, you know, have heard of it or know what it is and how it operates. So what we've done is it's really, there's a small nuance that's kind of not being done or is newer, but the general overall concept is a whole life contract, but it's a one-time dump in, like lump sum dump in into a PDA account, which is pretty much like the life insurance carrier's money market. So if you know somebody puts $1 million into a PDA account, that's going to ultimately fund a whole life contract over 7 years. And the reason why we dump it into the PDA account and not all into the whole life at once is obviously because that, if anybody understands life insurance, you can't just dump that much money into, you know, a contract without making it what's called a MEC or a modified endowment contract. But essentially what we're doing is just really competing with cash that's sitting in the bank. Number one, especially with what's going on with the banking industry right now, and you know, Silicon Valley and Signature Bank and all those banks, you know, going under. We're allowing people to transfer that risk from the banking industry to the insurance industry, and put, let's say, if someone's sitting with $5-10+ million inside of a checking account or a savings account or even a money market account, you know, we're allowing the option to take a small part of that or however much they want, put it into this PDA account, which over 7 years is going to fund a whole life insurance contract. Like I said, the PDA account is guaranteeing 5% on your money every year for those 7 years. And 1/7 of the money will go into the whole life insurance contract, which is also going to grow at a guaranteed rate of return. Right now, the dividends in whole life companies, the company that we work with probably the most is Penn Mutual, but we work with all of them, Mass Mutual, New York Life, so on and so forth. And Penn Mutual's dividend right now is 5.75. So the money will grow inside of the whole life contract at 5.75%, 100% tax deferred, as opposed to if money's just sitting in a checking account, saving account, or even a money market earning 4%, 5%, 6%, even depending on, where your money is or what institution you're with, but that's taxable. So the money's going to grow at a more efficient rate. And then the downside with normally how people think of life insurance is that it's not liquid, at least immediately, right? You have to let it build and grow before you can actually access and leverage the money back out. But through Bobby hoteling, the founder of our company's relationships with these banks and lenders, he was able to get them to agree on a line of credit against the whole life and the PDA accounts total value at any given time. And actually, depending on age and health rating, but most likely after the first year, you'll be net positive. So if you dump $1 million in, likely, again, depending on those two things, you'd have north of $1 million inside of the PDA account and whole life vehicle combined. That value would be over $1 million. And you could at any point leverage that money back out via the line of credit up to 90% loan to value. And that would be at 100 basis points below prime, at whatever prime is at that point. But the concept there is if I just put that $1 million into a vehicle that's going to grow, let's call it between 5% and 6% guaranteed. And then I want to go take 500,000 or 600,000 or 700,000 back out via that line of credit. And right now the interest rate would be 6.75 because prime is 7.75. So that 100 basis points below that would be 6.75. That 6.75 interest rate that I'm paying to borrow that money would be a tax write-off if I invest it in real estate or any other, back into my own business or whatever I want to do with it. And the concept there is just the arbitrage, right? So if I'm writing that 675 off, borrowing at about, let's call it 4% net, because I do get the deduction on it, but I can generate 10, 12, 15% on my money at the same time, or on the bank's money. Now the million that I have sitting in the PDA and the whole life account is growing at that 5, 6%, 100% guaranteed, which would be probably more efficient than sitting in a bank account or even a money market with a bank. And then I can also arbitrage, that money in the form of that line of credit and make the money work for me outside as well. So no, that was kind of a lot, but if anyone wants to go through that at, at a higher level, or look at a design and how it, looks numbers wise, we'd be more than happy to do that as well.
The reason I bring this up is I believe this would go hand in hand with people that are jumping into lending, right? You could literally, if you have a pool of money that you're going to lend or access, you could start this vehicle and within a year, be able to access almost all the money again, put it to work.
You could access the money like day two, so it just would be 90% of what you put in, right? So if you put in $1 million, you could go take out 900 on day two, essentially via that line of credit. And I know I've had conversations with Blake about this specific product, with what they're doing on the lending side, but if they could leverage the money back out at, again, 6.75, which is really 4% or whatever that number winds up being, because I'm able to deduct that interest payment that I have to make back to the bank. But I can lend the money at 12, 13, 14%. I can create that arbitrage there on the bank's money. And at the same time, the money that I have, that million that I dumped in, is still growing at that safe, guaranteed
that's the key.
5, 6% rate of return.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I just wanted to explain that because, and again, get with you guys, if this is any interest, get with Dalton. He can give you a much deeper dive, but to me, it just goes hand in hand with anybody that's going to do lending. It's like you can get the money growing over here and then growing again over here and get some, some coverage, some insurance coverage.
There's death benefit obviously in the whole life. So if I put in $1 million figure, I probably have $4 or $5 million of death benefit.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. It's like triple dipping on your money. So it's really, really intelligent model. So there's more
for a company as well. It doesn't have to be just an individual. So we have a guy that's a billionaire real estate guy that's sitting with about $80 million of cash in the bank. So he's going to take like 4, 5, 6 of his key employees and put the insurance on their lives, but the company is going to own the policy. So it's the company's money to do whatever they want with and leverage the money out if they need it, or if not, just keep it growing more efficiently in this vehicle than it would in a bank. And then God forbid one of those key employees dies, it also functions as a key man insurance policy. So the company would get paid out that $4, $5, $6 million of death benefit, to go hire another key man. So it, can function that way as well.
Yeah, no, when you and I were chatting the other day, I'm like, wow, that's a brilliant, this is like a foundational type of a vehicle. This is, we do a lot of things that are unicorn investing or higher risk, but this is like a foundational thing. And I think it goes hand in hand with the lending. That's why I wanted to bring it up. So cool.
Yeah, Brian, I'll send you an email too. We had a company email that went out that just like, a couple paragraphs just explaining the strategy, and you can forward that to everybody.
We'll get it in the group. Send it over and we'll get it out into a bulletin for sure.
Okay, cool.
Awesome. Great job. Great job. Mr. Lee, what about you, brother? What is your current C-type goal? What are some things you got going on and how can we help?
So I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm earning in excess of $5 million a month income from multiple revenue sources in a confident, heavily manner with grace and ease. So I just along with others have joined the Just Be the Bank workshop, and then that's something that I want to start doing as well, because that's kind of very much in line with what I'm doing: fix and flip, short-term rentals, multifamily syndication. So there's definitely access to that deep network of people who are ready to lend. I'm thinking more like a kind of like just on the ground private money operator, so that I can broker between the money, the access to these private money lenders, as well as these flippers that I'm in contact with all the time, and just do 1 or 2 before I can scale that up. So that's gonna be another like revenue stream that I'm thinking about creating. And other than that, there's, Forex, AI, all these, that's also doing in parallel. Right now, I guess I'm getting a squeeze because of the market. My short-term rentals are not doing as well as before. I have to liquidate some of the properties over there because they're basically breaking even. So I'm thinking about how I can, just kind of diversify and then expand and then create more revenue streams so that I can meet that goal there. Yeah.
Yeah, so short-term rental is not my expertise, but does anybody here that's in the real estate game with short-term have any advice for Kevin? Because you can definitely see if interest rates are going up and values are coming down, the economy's softening, people are traveling less. There's definitely like a real estate squeeze happening for sure. So I don't know if anybody else here has, things that you're doing or advice, because that is not my area of expertise. Obviously, I know the Steck family, that is their area of expertise, and I know you guys attended that course. Anybody else in short-term rentals? Michael?
Yeah, I mean, we are. I mean, my first recommendation is buy in Roatan, Honduras, because it's incredible the amount. But I think what Dave Steck said is that he's just out, and Kevin's on the right path already because he's starting the private lending, and just like I am, just like Ara and Eric are. So I think that it's the time to be lending the money. And I've just been finding a lot of different tax-free, like what Dalton was just talking about. It seems like a lot of opportunities to loan money, but not have to pay taxes on it. So yeah, just stick with Blake Steck. I mean, it's just, that's where I'm not buying anything else right now. I mean, after listening to Dave, I'm not in buy real estate mode right now. So yeah.
I think that's the general consensus. Yeah. So awesome.
Yeah, I don't think there's too much more I can add that you didn't hear in our State of the Union and that Michael didn't just summarize. I think right now, while we watch the correction play out, it's just the right time to stay short term. Hopefully Forex continues to perform. And, for those of you guys who want to do a little bit of lending, there's arbitrage opportunities, as Dalton talked about, but owning real estate just doesn't seem like, and perhaps opportunities like Dalton's where they're buying super distressed, super opportunistic deals. I mean, I can see a play there because people are getting squeezed in real estate, right? They took out short-term debt at too cheap a rate back in 2020, 21. We've got what looks to be kind of an impending credit crisis coming up. So you can imagine a lot of people with debt that's going to need to be restructured, and they've got an asset that's losing value. They're going to be underwater, and there are going to be opportunities like those that Dalton's going after. But unless you have a line on those, I would just stay short term and lend to people who have those kind of cherry picked few deals in whatever market you're comfortable in.
Very cool. Appreciate the advice.
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. Corbin, what about you, bud? Obviously we're doing some things together, structuring the charity, but what's your current C-type goal, and what, if anything, can we do to help?
So really, the C-type goal is to control $1 billion in liquid assets, in combination personally and most of it in the foundation. And so I think over the last couple of weeks I've really been able to align my my lifestyle, my desire to have a lifestyle, a certain lifestyle with golf and everything, and the desire to help these kids through the foundation. And so now that I've got those two things in line, or what I kind of call vertically integrated, I think that I'm going to have exponential growth toward that goal. When prior to this idea of bringing the golf business and the nonprofit kind of in line with each other, it was like I was being pulled in two different directions. As you know, my heart and my passion has really come towards, helping these kids. And the golf concept and what I was trying to do with the golf business was taking me away from that. And now I kind of retooled the entire vision of the golf business to be completely tied to raising capital for the foundation. And so I'm getting ready to launch that here in a couple of weeks. And so I'm super excited about where things are going.
No, same here, brother. Happy to be a part of it too. And obviously when the time's right and we're ready to kind of present it to the world, we'll do a satellite here inside of the matrix. And for those of you who don't know, Footprints Forward is something Corbin came to us with, and Laura and I immediately resonated with it. It's US based, which I love. It's helping a demographic of kids that are just, really in tough shape at an age where it's super critical for development. So the matrix is going to get behind this full force. We're offering the educational part of it through Thinking the Results, and we'll have a full-blown session on that. But I'm just super proud of you for shifting gears from like sort of the me thing to how can I help these kids thing, and it's all kind of lining up. So awesome. Well, just a couple of reminders, guys. I see a lot of you or some of you back in Thinking Results is really cool this week, and to see you kind of going back through the content. So just a reminder, you guys always have access to that. Thinking Results Monday nights. You guys own the content. You can come in. We're constantly evolving. So if you went through TIR like 2 years ago with us, it's completely different now because we're evolving always, right? We're evolving the content. We're getting better. We're bringing in new people. Our team's growing. So don't forget, if you haven't gone through Thinking Results in a while, to go ahead and jump in. Give yourself another 6-month challenge. That would be something really neat to do. Hit the reset button. Give yourself a 6-month challenge, and it's called Thinking into Results for a reason. So if anybody here is stuck in anything in your life, that will unstick you. All right, guys. So we have the Life Scripts workshop coming up on Thursday for you guys, and we have Thinking Results. So you guys always have access to. So we're always looking to bring more value, enhance the community, and I look forward to seeing some of you on Thursday night. Actually, we'll probably see a lot of you at 5 o'clock for Ivan's presentation, and then again at 6 for the Life Script workshop. So until then, be well. God bless. Have a great week, everybody. Thanks for sharing, and thank you for those who helped give some advice to us. And as always, let's hold the energy for each other's goals. Let's hold the energy for each other's goals. I think that's super, super powerful. So be well and God bless, guys. We'll see you soon.